I think it's pretty safe to say that the Western Bulldogs now have a serious issue. They are now 1-7 against top 8 sides. And if you're 1-7 against top 8 sides, as soon as you come to the finals, if they can get there, you are really going to struggle. But this all comes back to one thing and one thing only, and that is their inability to defend. Because offensively, when you can do things like this from forward 50 stoppages, so basically Sam Darcy in the ruck, but look at the work here from Libba to Bond and Richards. So Richards gets his hard ball get. So the ability to win the ball inside of the contest, the smarts from Libba to get the ball to the outside where Bond is waiting in space. He has come from that stoppage. He has gone out towards the space. That is beautiful setup already. But then the follow-up work here from Richards to find the space, the ability for Bond to find Richards in this situation, and then the finishing, that is all class. And offensively, if you're able to do that, you are going to win a lot of games. And again, we could show 1,000 clips of how good the Bulldogs offense is. You add players like Ed Richards to Bond, to Libba, to Bailey Dale off half-back, and then their forward line in Aaron Norton and Sam Darcy. Your offense is so good that you are going to be in a lot of these games against the top 8 sides. And here, straight out of this stoppage, this is what the Bulldogs really like to do offensively, especially out of stoppages. They always have players, at least one of their midfielders, leak forward, and as soon as it looks like the Bulldogs are going to win the stoppage, bang, Ed Richards is off. Sometimes it's Bond, sometimes it's Fraser, but as soon as it looks like they're going to win that stoppage, they are just out and in front of their defensive midfielders, and that's why you get so much space like this for Ed Richards to go back-to-back goals just like this. And to be fair, we've never questioned their offense, and that is why they are able to just completely demolish bad teams, and it's why they're able to stay in touch with these top 8 sides. It's why all of their losses against top 8 sides have looked so good. A couple goals to Adelaide, they almost beat the Pies. All of their games against top 8 sides have been relatively close. And the reason that they can't beat these top 8 sides is their defense just is not good enough to stack it up against the best teams. They cannot restrict their opponent's scoring at all. When they play top 8 sides, their defense gives up 100 points, which means for them to win, they need to score 100 plus. I don't care how good your offense is, against a good defense, like a top 8 side usually is, it is hard to score 100 points, which is why they keep losing. And the biggest reason that their defense continues to struggle is the fact that they don't have the talent, they don't have the skill back there just yet to win one-on-one situations, and that's what they get themselves into, especially when you turn the football over. As soon as you lose this one-on-one matchup, as soon as you turn the football over in this situation right now, so bang, you've just turned the football over. Now all of your defenders are in one-on-one situations. So Isaac Rankin in a one-on-one situation. Caulfield does a really good job to get the ball to ground. But the issue is, as soon as you lose that one-on-one situation, you have one-on-ones all in your defensive half of the field, and they just don't have the talent to win those. As soon as the Bulldogs turn this football over, you now have one-on-ones forward of the football if you're an Adelaide Crow. Now, as soon as Cumming gets his football, he's looking up into forward line where there are one-on-ones everywhere. Now, the Bulldogs do have an extra man here in Bailey Dale, but again, what we see the Bulldogs do so often is they flood their numbers so far back into their defensive 50 because they want to cover these long threats and back towards the goal square. So Bailey Dale in this situation is thinking, oh, I've got to get back so I can protect my one-on-one matchups, so I can protect my defenders. And again, we're just going to see the exact same thing. If you run back, the Crows forward line is smart enough to just stand at the top of the 50, getting free, easy marks inside forward 50. And there are so many byproducts when you can't defend one-on-one, because as soon as you can't defend one-on-one, you just force so many numbers back. You just instinctively send so many defenders back into your defensive 50 to help in those one-on-one situations. But the issue is, those players can't come from nowhere. They have to come from somewhere. So as soon as Adelaide get this ball going inside their forward 50, again, we have a one-on-one down here with Fogarty, but look at the Bulldogs defenders getting back. They're coming off their men here to help in this aerial contest because they don't trust their ability to defend these one-on-ones with any sort of strength, with any sort of conviction. We now have a 3 Bulldogs versus 1 Adelaide Crows marking contest right now. But these 2 Bulldogs that have come off their men, they don't come from nowhere. They have to have come off someone. So now you're leaving the most dangerous small forward in the league here, Isaac Rankin, at ground level, and you're leaving arguably the best key forward in the league at the moment in Riley Thilthorpe to sit here at the front of this stoppage alone because you have no trust in your defender's one-on-one ability to get the ball to ground and to compete in the air. So as soon as you don't kill this ball over the boundary line, now you're leaving players at ground level where they can go and kick easy goals. All of that comes from just your inability to win and defend these one-on-ones at all. And that's not just something that happened against the Crows. It has happened against every top 8 side that they've played so far this year. So again, Geelong have just got a turnover deep in their defensive 50, but look at the ability for Geelong to move the football here. And the reason why they're moving the football like this with this forward handball, it's not just because Geelong like to move the football like this. By taking these short options all the way up to the middle of the wing here, you're forcing the Bulldogs defenders to come up and defend. And as soon as you can force them to come up and defend the ball carrier, now you're not allowing them to get numbers back in their defensive 50. So now you're exposing them into one-on-one situations in their defensive 50, which we know the Bulldogs don't want to be in. So as soon as they go inside, now you're giving Jeremy Cameron here a genuine one-on-one opportunity. And as soon as you give him that, you're going to score. But also, down the bottom here with blitzers, you're going to have another one-on-one opportunity if you decided to kick that ball long. And realistically, we could go through almost every single game that they've played so far this year against top 8 sides, and we just see the exact same issue over and over again. So again, the Lions get a quick ball turnover, and now as soon as you move the ball fast against the Bulldogs, I'm going to sound like a broken record, you get one-on-one opportunities up the field. So again, now Eric Hippold is in a one-on-one situation. He can win this. And then as soon as he turns and goes, he goes really quick. Now in the goal square, we have another genuine one-on-one situation right now. And again, the Bulldogs just don't have the ability against these top 8 sides to win these one-on-ones, to get the ball to ground consistently enough without having to commit extra numbers to the contest, which leaves the ground level players to pick up the crumbs, even if they get the ball to ground. So this is the issue that the Bulldogs have over and over and over again. So as soon as they go long up the line here, again, we've got a one-on-one contest on the wing. How often do you see that against a really good top 8 side? You don't often see one-on-one contests with teams like Collingwood or Geelong or Brisbane for this matter, but you see a lot of them against top 8 sides when the Bulldogs play them because of their ability to move the ball with efficiency and speed, but also their ability to hold space and force the Bulldogs to play one-on-one styles of football. So again, you're just backing in your players to win these one-on-one contests. So Logan Morris wins. He quickly turns and goes. Doesn't allow the Bulldogs defenders and midfielders. It doesn't allow Tim English to get back and impact this contest, because this is what the Brisbane Lions want. They want as many genuine one-on-one contests as absolutely possible because they back in their players to beat the Bulldogs defenders in these situations. And this is the main issue that the Bulldogs have. They just don't have the defensive capability to hold up for long enough against these really good top 8 sides. Offensively, they will absolutely be able to put themselves in a position to be in every game because of the firepower that they have through the midfield and in their forward 50. But as soon as another team gets a run on, like the Brisbane Lions did in this exact game. So when the Bulldogs play these top 8 sides, if the opposition to the Bulldogs can just hold up defensively for long enough, they will absolutely have faith that they will be able to score enough points to beat the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs are maybe just going to have to play this game where they just try and score 140 points. They almost just abandon their defensive capability, their defensive structure, and just try and score 140 points every single week. Because if they play this style of football that they're playing at the moment now, they might be a danger to knock someone out in round 1 if they make the finals. But to win 4 of these games on the trot, to win 4 games against top 8 sides to win the premiership when you have a defensive profile like this, I just don't see it happening.